Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Favorbrite Beanie with wide LED light. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. Okay, so let's get this open. So we have the Beanie, we have a USB Type-C charging cable, and here we have the instructions. Let's take a quick look at them. So on the front we have a cob floodlight. On the back we have a tail light. We have a separate switch for the front light and the rear light. We have a charge indicator and we have a USB input. The Beanie is made of 100% acrylic. It's ABS for the cob light. It has rechargeable batteries. It has some different modes. For the tail light we have red light low, red light high, and strobe. And then for the front we have high, low, and strobe. So it looks like we have high, low, and strobe for the front and rear. And those are independent. And then we have the operation here. You can read through those if you want. This does say it is for men or women. It's hand wash only. Now you can take the cob light out and you can also use the cob light separately. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is a typical Beanie. We have that cob light here, so this is a very wide LED light. And then we have the tail light in the back. Okay, so if we invert this a little bit, we can see this brim folds over and we can see the light here. So to remove this, it looks like we would pull this out and then take the Velcro off here and pull this cob light off. And then we could just pull this out. And then here there's an elastic band. You would pull that through the slot on either side and this whole thing would come out. So I'm going to leave it in. So we have two buttons here to turn it on. Now from this point out, there are going to be flashing lights in this video if you're sensitive. But on the left side here, if I press it once, we'll have the tail light high. I'll press it again, we have tail light low. And a third time we have the tail light flash. So there are many uses for this, but the one they kind of talk about is using it for running. And having that flashing red light there really makes you visible to other people and vehicles and things like that. It really captures attention. So then the other one is for the front light. So this is your cob light. So there's your cob light high, cob light low, cob light strobe. So I imagine many people running might have the red flashing light in the back, and then they might have it on low or high in the front. I can't imagine many people would have that strobe on there in general use, but in an emergency you could turn that strobe on. So say you're doing an early morning run, you have an emergency, or maybe even you come across an emergency, you can turn that light on to notify people, or if you're lost in the woods, you can turn that on to help people find you. So let me demonstrate charging this. So I'll just pull this back a little bit, get my charger here, I'll pull the rubber open, I'll plug in my USB Type-C, plug that in the charger. There we go. And we can see the charge indicators here. So each one represents 25% of the battery. So it's filling up that last 25%. And it's currently charging at 0.5 amps. So that'll vary depending on the state of the charge of the battery. So according to the Amazon description, this has a maximum runtime of around 15 hours. Okay, so I'll put this on and I'll turn the camera on so you can see this on my head. Okay, so I'll put this on my head. So this is fitting over my ears here. Now if I want to turn the light on, I'll press the button on the right, I think it is. There we go. So that's the cob front light, high, low, flash. And then we have that flashing light in the rear. So this fits how you might expect a Beanie to fit. It's a good size Beanie. So if you have an incredibly small head, it might be a little big for you. But for most people, I think it's going to fit fine. I know some beanies are like really short. This is a full-size Beanie, I would call it. So you can get it down over your ears. I have plenty of room here. And I think this would be very warm on a cold day. Okay, so now I'm going to insert a clip of this outside at night so you can see the light that it casts. Okay, so it's very windy right now, so hopefully the audio comes through. But I'm standing in front of my driveway at night, and I'll turn the light on. And here you can see it lights up the driveway. It's on the lower mode, flash and off. And here's the flashing tail light from 50 foot away. And here's the whole driveway with the headlight from 50 foot away. And here's another view of the headlight. Okay, so that's the Favorbrite Beanie with wide beam LED. Now, if you've ever worn a headlamp, you'll find they're often difficult to wear when you're wearing another hat, especially something like a beanie. They're always fighting against each other. So this is a nice option here, actually integrating the headlamp into the beanie. I really like these wide angle lights. Now, these aren't the most ideal if you're, say, searching in the woods for something, but these are great for working nearby. So if you're running, you can see puddles, you can see off to the left or right for safety reasons. These are also great for working on things. You can really see your work area. So if you work in the dark, I think these are great for that. These give off a really even light too, so they're nice for seeing detail. So I really like that they have that tail light in there. And even though it's a little red flashing light, I find them to be very visible. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.